The Percy Jackson show on Disney Plus has some more news to all of the fans, and in this video, I'll share more info about that, what we got from Rick's letters on his website, and so much more. So without further ado, let's get started. For my previous casting video, I've gave my thoughts on the main trio, Percy, Annabeth, and Grover. And now, I'll give my thoughts on Luke Castellan, Clarisse La Rue, and Nancy Bobofit. It was released pretty recently, and I have to say, I'm pretty happy with it. I know I'm a bit late with this video, but I decided to do it now just in time for Rick's new letter in this website, which features the 4th week of their filming in Vancouver. So, let's start with Nancy Bobofit. If you forgot, Nancy was the bully from The Lightning Thief, and honestly, a pretty forgetful character in my opinion. I think it's because she doesn't really appear in the next books, but anyway, Nancy is going to be played by Olivia Morton, who was a 13-year-old teenager, and according to Rick's website, she played roles in theaters and commercials. Seeing this picture of Olivia, I actually recognized her from Leia's post on Leia's Instagram account. So for those of you who are not aware, Leia, or Leia Saba Jeffries, is going to be playing Annabeth in the show, and she posted this picture of her and Olivia biking. From this photo, fans have gone all across social media, theorizing that Olivia was actually Rachel Elizabeth there, and I was honestly and pretty happy about that theory, because Olivia looked a lot like Rachel. But then again, chronologically speaking, why would they already cast Rachel if they're focusing on the first season, which would adopt the first book? Rachel is going to make her first appearance in The Titan's Curse, the 3rd book, and for the show, it's still going to be in the 3rd season. So it didn't really make any sense that Rachel was already casted, and looking at this picture, I didn't know what to make of Olivia. And I know, I didn't consider that she could be Nancy Bobofit before the reveal of this casting. Well yeah, I didn't. I'm sorry, but it's been at least a year since I actually read PJO, so it's been a while. To be honest, I actually want to reread The Lightning Thief before the show comes out, just so that I'm not clueless when it comes to what's happening. Because I just feel like I'm so advanced in the Riordan verse that I just forgot the beginning and how it all started. But anyway, I think that Olivia is a great casting for Nancy, and I'm judging this based on the looks and the age appropriateness. She got the same red hair that Nancy had, and I had to say, Olivia looks really kind in this photo, and I'm pretty sure she is also kind in real life, but I want her to surprise me when she brings Nancy Bobofit to life, because Nancy was a horrible person in The Lightning Thief. So now, let's head to Clarisse La Rue. Clarisse is going to be played by Dior Goodjohn, and she's about 16 years old, which means she's 2 years older than Walker, Leia, and Aryan, aka the actors who are going to play Percy, Annabeth, and Grover. I think this is good, because I remember the book stating that Clarisse was at least a year older than Percy and Annabeth, so again, I'm pretty glad the casting is once more age appropriate. According to Rick's website, Dior landed national commercials at just the age of 3, and she even portrayed a character at the age of 6. She has some acting experience, and she's going to star in Nickelodeon's Are You Afraid of the Dark series, which would premiere this summer. When it comes to appearance, she doesn't really look anything like Clarisse. In the books, Clarisse is described as having brown stringy hair and is built like a rugby player, while Dior has curly black hair and is averagely built. Despite that though, I think she's a good choice, because she looks pretty intimidating in this photo, and like all the actors and actresses in this TV show, I want to give her a chance. Even if I do wish that Dior would be a bit more muscular like book Clarisse, because that's also a trait that makes Clarisse intimidating, I think I'd still be okay with her without that. So now, Luke Castellan's casting. This is the most talked about compared to Nancy and Clarisse, because Luke Castellan's character in the first 5 books of the Riordan verse is very important, and there's just so much pressure on whoever's going to fill this post, because Luke is the main antagonist and Percy's main enemy aside from Kronos. So let's get into it. Luke is going to be played by Charlie Bushnell, an 18-year-old actor who starred in the Disney Plus series called Diary of a Future President. So, another age-appropriate actor. Even if he is a year younger than Luke in the first book, I'm still okay with it, because it was just by a year, with Luke being 19 when he was in The Lightning Thief. So, let's talk about this. Appearance-wise, he looks nothing like Luke. In PJO, this is Percy's description of Luke. The guy was about 19, and he looks pretty cool. He was tall and muscular, with short cropped sandy hair and a friendly smile. He wore an orange tank top, cutoffs, sandals, and a leather necklace with 5 different colored clay beads. The only thing unsettling about his appearance was a thick white scar that ran from just beneath his right eye to his jaw, like an old knife slash. Okay, so obviously Charlie doesn't look like that. And once again, there are fans who have complained about this, saying that from the trio's casting last month to the casting we have now, Rick isn't really following the descriptions he made for each character, and they're disappointed by it. From this kind of topic, there are people who still has high hopes, saying that they still trust Rick, and we have to give these young actors a chance. So, which side am I on? I don't know about you guys, but I'm still on the positive side. I'm trusting Rick. I know that you guys are probably going to go to the comments and tell me that they look nothing like their characters, and that this casting is horrible, but for me, I want to give them a chance. If there's someone who knows these characters the best, it's Rick. And he must have seen those characters come to life when these actors and actresses auditioned for these roles. So, about Charlie being Luke, I am a bit upset that he doesn't look like Luke from the books, because if there's something from the Peter Johnson movies that I actually liked, was the casting they had for Luke. Sure, he didn't have the scar like he had in the book, but I think that the actor looked just like Luke from the books. He has the right build and hair color, and add in the scar with an actual good script, Jake Abel, or the actor who played Luke in the movies, might have been a great fit. Despite this though, I really hope that Charlie would be able to capture Luke's manipulative, charming, and bribing personality. Luke's the kind of character or person who looks so good on the outside and is so welcoming to everyone, but by the end, he backstabs you, and it hurts so badly because you trusted him. I want Charlie to show that by the end of the season and surprise new people who haven't read the books. I want to see that shock factor instead of what we got from the Peter Johnson movies, because in those movies, they made Luke act like a jerk from the start, so there was no shock factor when the plot twist came up. And I absolutely pray that they would keep the scar that Luke had, because that was a huge symbol of the wrath he had against the gods. So now, let's head to Rick's more recent news. His Week 4 letter to the fandom. If you didn't know, Rick posts articles of updates on the Disney Plus show in his website, rickriordan.com, and if you want to check that out, it's linked down below. In there, you can find other articles which focuses on the casting of the show, the books he's written over the years, Rick's personal life, and a lot more. So, this is Rick's article for the 4th week of filming. For those of you who aren't aware, they started filming around June 2 this year, and this is what Rick's update is. On the first part, Rick says this: "Our 4th week of filming is well underway in Vancouver, BC. We are receiving dailies of the scenes recorded each day, and they look, dare I say, divine. The cast is electrifying. They own their characters and turn their lines into magic on the screen. That's even before editing, soundtracks, or special effects." Rick goes on to say that he had a huge secret and surprise for us, and it was a secret that he kept for over a year. Again, the dedication this Disney Plus team had for the show is incredible. Like, how did this not get out? From Walker's casting as Percy to this secret. I don't know about you guys, but that's dedication. So anyway, Rick reveals that they partnered with Industrial Light and Magic, and they're going to be using incredible technology like the ones used in The Mandalorian. I've never actually watched that show, but I've heard so many people say that this show is going to be incredible because the CGI and effects The Mandalorian used were so realistic. And then, Rick shared this photo of him, Dan Schatz, an executive producer, and John Steinberg, who was a showrunner. Rick continues by saying that the show is going to look incredible, and he acknowledged all the people who helped him. He even adds that they're dedicated to making a high-quality adaptation that all of the fans deserve. Rick ends the article by saying, "We still have a long way to go before this first season is completed, but I think you will be pleased when we finally get to share it with you." Reading that just warmed my heart, and it made me feel reassured that everything is going to be okay when it comes to the show. Rick and the team are doing all they can to make this happen for all of us, and I guess we should be grateful for that. Despite all the controversy and comments a lot of fans have been saying throughout social media, I can confidently say that I'm still excited for the show, and I still have high hopes for this adaptation. So, how about you? What do you think about these updates? Let me know in the comments down below.